Alright, well, I guess this is going to be objective morality number 8. Wasn't planning one this soon, but got a couple of response videos. One from Goat and one from some guy, something Saturn, can't remember the name. But anyway, post links. And, alright, I might as well do Goat first since I'm going to post this as a reply to his video. Yeah, which page is the page for Goat? Okay, yeah, this video, yeah, it's stylish, I guess, but, okay, so it asks a couple of questions. The first one deals with the limits of language, and that's really the whole problem with this whole arguing with the relativists, the moral relativists, is they just completely pervert the language. Language, I've said this before, words are made up of definitions that are made of words. It's, you know, words don't have any empirical integrity. It is all dependent on our definition, and if our definition is precise enough, words don't have a flaw. So yeah, when you say something like good and bad, it doesn't mean a whole lot. You got to qualify the words with a meaning, like any scientist would in terms of defining what a calorie is by saying how many newtons it might take to you know, create an equivalent amount of energy. But anyway, all right, so the first part of your first question, your first issue with the words, well, forget it. I'm not addressing words. Words, that's just semantics. If you want to know what objective morality is based on, it's going to be based on something like efficiency or productivity, which in turn converts to the words good and bad. You can judge the efficiency of an automobile engine. You can do that objectively. How much fuel does it consume, and how much work does it produce, and how much waste does it produce? That's the equation. The same equation can be written for a human life. All right, then your second point was how can any of this objective morality be substantiated as a proof for this objective morality? And it's like any other theory. It's a theory of morality. It can't be proven, okay? We don't have the conclusion of the universe. We can't sit back after the whole book has been read and do a review of the book. It's like a recipe in progress. We don't have the finished product where we can say what we know exactly what all the variables are and all the values are. We can't say for sure. And so like a theory of evolution or anything else, it has to remain a theory. And it is substantiated by logical testing. It's that simple. And yeah, you either accept it or you don't. It either is persuasive or it isn't. But yeah, it's just like God or anything else. I can't prove objective morality because it isn't a physical thing I can pull out of space. It is something that must be understood as a concept. And it is given meaning by a rational process that evaluates the integrity of that concept in the context of truths understood.
Hey, all right, through what means do we gain knowledge of objective morality? And I guess I've sort of touched on that. We do it through intelligence, through knowledge, through the development of theory consistent with the facts we can ascertain. And so in my objective morality theory, I have speculated that the calorie, the quantum, the value begins with the concept of pain. We know it to be a negative, we know it to be a nasty. In any context, in and of itself, it is a negative. Obviously, it can prevent a greater amount of negative than itself, and therefore be valuable, just because it prevents more negative, but it is in itself a negative, regardless. And so that would be my theory, and I've been through it already. I mean, there's, you know, 6 other parts to this series, so I've already gone over that. So anyway, getting to this other guy who's obsessed with the, yeah, that emotion is rational. I mean, I don't know how I could, the last video, you know, number 7 or whatever it was a perfect video. I just don't understand how somebody could just wash right over it, just ignore everything stated. What is rational? I mean, then they use the word love or something. What this stupid word? What the fuck are you talking about, love? Love is rational? You're out of your fucking mind. Our penises don't get erect for a rational reason. It's completely subjective. God damn it, we don't rationally like chocolate ice cream more than vanilla ice cream. It's bullshit. We don't rationally have an affection for our own fucking race. It's genetically built into us. And again, to give genetic qualities, the quality of intelligence and reason, is just bullshit. Yeah, self-preservation's a concept, but it isn't rational. You know, it's not intelligent. Hey, you know, so yeah, you gotta do better than that. This is a value equation, okay? And a value equation that's going to be completely destroyed by something like nepotism. Nepotism has no rational integrity. We don't love our children because our children are better than somebody else's children. That's idiotic. We don't love our parents because our parents are better than somebody else's parents. That is idiotic. We don't love our race because our race is better than some other race. That is idiotic. There's just on no scale can you make any sense out of this bullshit. Emotions are bullshit. You know, it's intelligence. It's all the only thing that goddamn makes us anything is our intelligence. And to sit there and say that, you know, nature has made us reasonable and rational. No, nature has made us selfish. And certainly we are been programmed, you know, to fall into certain behavioral patterns conducive to the survival of ourselves and our tribe. But there's nothing rational in that. It's not a... how do I have to explain this? I mean, like I said, having a physical reality of having built into us a survival mechanism is not evidence of reason. And you know, emotion, it's like I said, there's not one frigging emotion you can name that has any rational basis. They are all based on prejudices and preferences. And those words just don't connect to anything rational. So yeah, it's just bullshit. Like I said, how do you explain nepotism as rational? There's nothing rational in nepotism. It is an unfair evaluation. It is a disproportionate evaluation. It has nothing to do with the real case, the real circumstance of reality, where people are equal. We know that as an intellectual concept. We understand our equality. We understand that one child is equal to another child, that they aren't inherently different because one is related to us. So yeah, emotion, bullshit. Love, it's not even a fucking word. Love, what the fuck does that, I mean, I might as well go on the subject of love, because it does piss me off. People throw this word out there and I have absolutely contempt for it. It's not a fucking word. It means anything. It has no fucking common definition. It's shit. It's nothing. What it means to one person is big breasts. You know, what it means to another person is, you know, somebody hugging them and taking care of them. I mean, it's just bullshit. It's a bullshit word. You know, all we are in relationships anyway. What are fucking relationships? They're made up of desire, our dependency, you know, psychological guilt. I mean, it's all kinds of crap. You know, it's a fact, the practical fact of our reality, but it's not something we kind of sit there and embrace as irrational. It's not rational. Look at paintings, look at the art, look at style. Is there anything rational in what we like style-wise? Our taste in music? Are you going to argue that our taste in music is rational? That we rationally choose to like a certain kind of music because it makes more sense rationally, logically, intellectually? Come on. It's just such bullshit. I mean, I guess, like I said, I can't believe I had to make 7 videos and have somebody make a response video that just ignores every single fucking thing I've been saying. I mean, it's just so irritating. And then the idea you say at the end, the chaos of reality makes this all, you know, an arbitrary discussion, a pointless discussion. I've gone over it 4,000 times. That's right. The chaos makes it, we can't do it with 100% precision. But guess what? We do know the probabilities. We know that 99.99% of the time it's going to be wrong to kill. We know that we know these things. There's nothing, we can know the probabilities. We can know what ought to be done based on what the probabilities of the outcome will be. And it's that simple. And so we don't have to have precise knowledge of the exact implications. All we have to do is have a general knowledge of what the behavior involves. And I've also made the point that there's a difference between our social morality, the morality that says, you know, you don't do something to other people that you want done to yourself. I mean, obviously we can't go around killing each other, but theoretically, yes, it doesn't mean a damn thing morally, all right? Killing has no moral meaning even by my objective morality. It's more about suffering and harm. And so until you have indications that you are producing harm, that's the key component. But as a practical necessity, it's a social requirement that we respect each other's life. And so that's what partly complicates this question of pushing somebody over the bridge to save other people, is that we have to commit a trespass against an individual. And we're always going to be apprehensive about committing a trespass against the individual right in front of us. You know, that even playing God in that, making that decision is going to make any person uncomfortable. That's inevitable. But rationally, objectively, intellectually, there is an answer to the question of whether the person should be pushed over the rail or not. And precisely as a logical, rational question, obviously, if you are guaranteed to save 5 people by pushing one person off the bridge, the thing to do is to push the one person off the bridge. That's going to be the rational conclusion. And the fact that we are apprehensive is just an indication that our emotions are not consistent with what we really should be naturally capable of doing, which is the right thing. Then the right thing sometimes doesn't feel right. And that's why there is this conflict between what civilization requires and what we are naturally compelled to do. That's why we need these fucking laws in the first place. That's why we have to have this discussion about morality in the first place, is because there is this terrible inconsistency between our intelligence and our friggin' lousy, crappy, rotten, stinking, natural disposition, which is based on the fact that we have a mouth, an ass, and a genetic depositor, or receptacle.